How you doing? Welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. To me, it's probably one of the easiest and fastest probably alternator replacements of any other marine motor. This one, it's a failure to charge the batteries. Customer complains that that the gauges were showing 12 volts when the engine is idle. And then once underway up to 2,000, 2,500, you probably get 12.7, which is actually unacceptable. You should have 13 volts plus at idle. So anyway, show you where to start, how to do it, and it's a very easy and fun job. So follow me on that. All right, so let me give you a pre-flight summary of what's going on here. All right, it's very easy. You take this plastic cover off first with 5/16 bolts, 2 in the back, 1 in the front, and you take that flywheel protector, flywheel cover, plastic off, right? Once that's off, you can see the belt right here, okay? And the alternator, and you can see in the front right here is where the main alternator output wire it's located. You see the red right there? Okay. Now, also in the bottom of the alternator, you're gonna see a 2 red wire connector, all right? Just put your finger in the front, push the tab down, boom, and it comes off, you see? This is a 2 red wire. I don't know if you can see I hope you can see, I hope I got a good close up right there. 2 red wire connectors, okay? We're gonna do all this outside, but one of the tests is using your digital is better. Digital voltmeter. I'm not gonna say just go ahead one in Walmart because I don't know if they would have digital, but any digital good voltmeter, DC. DC means direct current voltage. This is all DC, all right? All right, good. So you're gonna connect, forget this connector for now. Let's talk about the output. You're gonna connect the red right on the output right there, right directly, right there, you see, on the output of the alternator, and the black one, any ground on the block. You can choose one of the bolts to the ignition coils. You can use on the other side, you can use the block. Right there, you can use the block, or you can use one of the bolts of the alternator, all right? You put it in CD voltage, 1, 2, and it's already giving you the voltage of the battery. Why? Battery switch is on, ignition switch is off, okay? You'll be able to read the same voltage that you have on the battery right now, correct? Good. That's one of the tests you're gonna do with everything off, engine off, nothing is running so far. Good. One of the things I want you to notice, very, very important, all right, take this off, is the belt. As you can read that word on the belt, what does it say? Stretch fit, right? That is one of the reasons why this whole replacement makes it so easy, because of that word right there. I'll explain to you what that means. So, another test we're gonna do outside. After you remove this connector in the bottom of the alternator with the 2 red wires, grab your digital voltmeter again, black in ground, any part, anywhere in the block. The positive, you're gonna put it in one of the reds. Boom, you're gonna see the voltage of the battery, okay? Put it on the other red, 0 voltage, because the ignition key switch is off, right? As soon as you turn the ignition switch on, you will see voltage in that wire that was showing 0 voltage first. Again, I repeat, battery switch on, ignition switch off. One of the reds, 12 volts, or the reading of the battery. The other red on the little connector, 0 voltage. Go to the panel, turn ignition switch on. Do not run the motor. Ignition switch in the on position only. Go to these 2 red connectors, red cables, red wires, and test them. Both of them now should be reading the battery voltage. So, I have my blue thread locker right there. One tool I forgot that you don't really need it, but it helps in the diagnostic and troubleshooting is your load test for your batteries. It looks like that. Let me put it on the seat. All right. It's called load, like LOAD, load tester. Okay. Basically, you put positive and negative on your battery terminals and you give it some load. It's like you are cranking the motor and you see how much that cranking of a motor is absorbing your battery. It's draining your battery. You'll be able to see it right there. Usually when you put it in the battery, it shows 12.5. When you hit load, okay, that goes to about 10.5. If it's a brand new battery, it probably will hold 11. But no, that new battery is probably 10, 10.5. It's acceptable. Okay, to test the batteries, always, what's going on with this? Right, always your battery switches off, okay? All of them, all right? This is a make of center console, by the way, with twin 150s. So here it is, negative in the negative post. Right there, again, I told you I was going to move the camera a little bit, so bear with me. And the positive in the positive. As soon as I touch, okay, you see? Right there, I'm not touching the terminal. Right there, I connected the red terminal. Immediately, it's reading almost 12, okay? So let's go ahead and hit the load button. It's like you are cranking the motor, okay? Ready? 1, 2, now. See, 10, 10.2. That is acceptable. If it goes all the way from here and you hit the load button and this thing goes to 4, to 6, to 3, to 0, all this area is non-acceptable. Battery is cooked. Okay, let's go measure the other one. You gotta leave that button, press that button and leave it for about, I would say, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's plenty. Charge your battery first and check the fluid on your batteries before you do this test. After your battery is fully charged, I'm not doing it here because we know that there is an alternator issue. So now we're going to start the test. So we're going to go ahead and battery switches on, all of them, and ignition switch off. Copy that? All right. Let's go to the motor now. All right, as I said before, we're gonna grab the 5/16th 3/8 driven 5/16th socket, remove the flywheel cover. Okay, second test, or second step, we can call it. Let's go back into the cabin. I gotta go backwards in here. Okay, so, all right. We're gonna install our digital voltmeter, okay? And go to second step, which is DC. It says it's right there, see? Voltage, DC voltage, okay? Direct current is there. Let's do what the customer tell us that he was experiencing, okay? Water is on, right? I am right here on the panel, turning my key switch on. Read our gauge. As you can see in the gauge, it says battery okay, all right? Now let's hit mode, and we're gonna go to battery itself. See, battery okay, ignore that. Let's keep pushing mode. Mode, that's temperature. Mode, that's a trim. Keep going, 12.0, perfect. Let's start the motor. This is what the customer was talking about. As you can tell, in idle, it's 11.8. I'm gonna give it a little bit of revving. That's 1500 almost, 12.2, okay? Let's go to 2000. Right there, 12.6, all right? Got it. All right. That's unacceptable in the gauge. So what's the first thing that you think about? Wow, let me see if my battery is receiving the same voltage. What did we do before we came to the panel? We left that gauge connected, remember? So we didn't have to do it while the engine is running. And look at that, 12.1, okay? Let's go here. 12.0, 12.1, same voltage. So whatever the system is reading from the back of the motor, your battery is getting the same. So okay, good. So now we're gonna go to the source. All right, I have the voltmeter. We put it again in DC volts. All right. The negative, I'm gonna pick just anything. How about the engine block right here in one of the bolts of the starter motor? Anywhere is good. Okay, and then the positive output of the alternator. Okay, we're reading the voltage of the battery. Okay, so and I wish if we can put that here. Can we read it? Oh, maybe yes. We're good. So let's see what happens when I run the motor. Okay. My gauge is saying in the front, what does it say? 12.2. Now it's saying 12.3. I'm gonna go to 1500. 12.4. 12.5, 12.4. So that's absolutely unacceptable. Now let's go to the next test. Now we're gonna leave it in DC the way it was. We are going to, this red alligator, we're gonna remove it. All right, and we're gonna put our peak tool right here. And you're gonna see a connector right under the alternator, right here. That connector right there, right? So push it down and it comes off. See, it's right under the alternator. Bring the connector out and you can see the two small red wires, right? So let's go to the blue connectors. Let's go to one wire first, either one, it doesn't matter. Let's go to look at the meter, okay? One wire first. Okay, remember, battery switches on, ignition switch key off. 1, 0 voltage. Let's go to the other one. Boom, is reading the battery voltage, okay? The other one, 0. The other one, battery voltage. Copy? All right. Now, stay there. I'm going to turn the ignition switch on. Do not run the motor. Just on. Click. That's it. Ready? The one that was reading before is still reading, and the one that was saying 0, it is also reading, okay? Both of them are alive. Okay, again, battery switches on, key switch off, one wire is alive, the other not. Key switch ignition on, not running the motor, only on, both of them are alive. Copy? The first thing we gotta do, we gotta disconnect the blue connector in down here. The first thing you gotta do is disconnect that connector. Please don't forget, always during the whole complete process of replacing this alternator, keep this connector off. Why? Okay, this bolt is in the top. As you're moving your tools, right? As you're moving your tools, there is nothing in the way, you see? It's nothing here. This bolt, it's upside down, the head is down right here in the front. It's like that, upside down, the head is down there, right? As soon as you put this tool or any other tool, two things are gonna happen. Remember, you're touching ground right there. As soon as you move it to tighten it or loosen it, you might be touching the positive of the battery right here, right? Your main output from the alternator, you're gonna create spark. Also, let's say that you remember to turn the battery switches off. Perfect, there is no power there, but you left this one connected. The motion of removing that bolt is gonna take you to that connector, and if you don't notice that the connector is still there and you're moving the wrench, you're gonna break it. You're gonna break this connector. Now you're in trouble. You will not be able to finish the job. Remember, before you start this, battery switches are off, okay? Battery switches off. Now, let's disconnect your power source right there, all right? I forgot one more tool. This one is number 10, wrench or socket. I forgot that one, number 10 right here. Let me go get it, all right? Let's take this baby out. Okay, See, this is the terminal, the output that feeds the whole power to the boat. Right there, see it? Loosen it. Only loosen it. Do not take it off. All right, that's kind of loose already. Now, this is the best part of the job. Look at this. Because this is a stretch belt, as I was saying. Look at this. Grab the alternator and move it forward. Ready? That's it. And look at this. 1, 2, belt is off. Once you install everything, you put the belt. Remember, letters, you can read them straight. Put it back, right? And back, boom. Put your bolt, done. Both bolts are the same size. They are interchangeable. It doesn't matter which one you put where. They're both the same. And you remove your alternator. Boom. Okay. All right. I have my new alternator. That's your part number right there. Okay. Clean bolts. The 2 taps fade forward, the 1 tap fade to the back, the output facing forward, okay? 2 taps in the front, 1 tap in the back. I'm gonna secure it. I don't want this alternator to fall or anything, so I'm gonna put this bolt right there right now. That's good. It's not going anywhere. All right, good. Don't torque it yet. Just go snug to the end a little bit and leave it there, okay? Because you're gonna have to rotate the alternator for the belt, remember. I got at the end right there and leave it about there. Don't tighten no more. That's enough, just snug it. Because now we'll grab this bolt in one hand. We'll put the belt over. Remember, the belt is gotta say, you should be able to read it. Stretch fit. Make sure it's in all the grooves in the flywheel. Rotate alternator to the front. Put your belt. Make sure it's in all the grooves in the alternator and on the flywheel. See? Just rub your hand around it and make sure it's all the grooves in the flywheel are engaging. Now go back a little more right there and put this bolt. And voila, belt and alternators are installed. We're gonna go for 460, right? Yeah, 460 inch-pounds, which is about 39 foot-pounds. A little bit here. A little bit here, a little more down here. A little bit here. That's it. That's it. Now down here, let's wait for that click. A little more. A little more. There you go. Done. Now, you can go ahead and put your blue connector because there's not going to be any more tools driving or moving or flying around that area. So go ahead and install your blue connector. Yeah. Boom. And then your positive. Again, number 10. Right? Very, very little. Don't go crazy on this one. That's enough so it doesn't move. Perfect. We're going to check the alternator output first. Now we're going to go from the back to the front. Then we're going to go ahead and look at our gauges, and then we're going to test what the battery is receiving. Copy. Let's turn it on to see if it's reading. 0. Perfect. Why? Because the battery switch is off. Some guys cutting the grass. All right, we got water. Battery switch on. Ready? Okay. All right, so we're great. We're doing good. This is in idle. Let's look at the gauge. Gauge is reading the same. Let's give it a little bit of gas to 1,000. That's 1,000. That's almost like 500. 2,000. Let's leave it on 1,000. 14.4. Let's go to the back. 1460 is perfect. Yes, we're doing good. Okay, so we know that this is the what the gauge said. We already know that from the alternator everything is looking good. And don't forget to reinstall your flywheel cover. Okay. All right. Okay, well, this is the end of the video, and I hope that it was helpful to you and you found in the video what you were looking for. Now you are more prepared for the future, or I don't know if it's happening to you right now, to carry on a troubleshooting and diagnosis of the low charging in your boat system. In this case, being a Mercury 4-stroke 150 2014 and inline 4 motor. And yes, if you got any comments or you want to tell me or ask me anything about this video, please go ahead and write it to my email. I thank you very much for your support, and I really appreciate being part of this channel. Take care, see you in the next video.